Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, guys. And today I'm gonna be teaching you how to build yourself a working spiral staircase. And it's actually not just any spiral staircase, it's a piston spiral staircase. Okay, that's a whole mouthful. You might think, Jesse, how the heck does this thing work? So guys, if I just quickly, make it go down, pretty much it is just a regular floor design when it's not in use. Okay, it's looking pretty normal, nothing really too fancy, you know what I mean? Not really looking all that special. Now, when I flick this lever, bro, things are gonna go down. Pretty much, yeah, I'll just let the thing show itself. Actually, I have a slight failure there. Oops. But pretty much it creates a spiral staircase. As you can see, it was just a visual glitch, okay? It fixes itself. I was just kidding. But this thing is actually super cool, guys. There are so many cool things that you can actually do with this. I will actually show you a couple before I even start. So, guys, imagine, let's say, guys, you just had, one of those rooms in your house. Nothing too fancy. Nothing too fancy. I totally butchered that, but you get the idea, guys. There's just a circular room in your house, and it's all around looking pretty cool. Now, guys, if you flick this lever, you will actually just shrink the entire room into a spiral staircase, which is pretty nuts, if you ask me, okay? Actually, I didn't even show this off properly, okay, guys? There's so many cool things that you can do with this now. Actually, I'm just gonna do this quick, just to get the point across. Just to get the point across. There we go, guys. Let's say there was, I don't know, a roof on this thing. You press the lever, and your room literally oh, actually, wait. Big mess up. Big mess up. I did the mess up, guys. Need to make these half. Sorry, boys. There it is, guys. Just imagine this, right? Let's say you have an observatory where you can look at the sky. Oh my god, that's so nice. And then you flick the lever, and just magically, it turns into a spiral staircase. How cool is that? I would say that's pretty freaking cool, man. Like, I am not even gonna lie. I think that is pretty darn freaking cool. So, guys, I'm actually gonna be teaching you how to build one of these things today. And I just want to say something, okay? The other day, okay, I was hanging out with the owner of the game, Chill Thrill. Actually, I have the messages. Oh my god. Guys, I messaged Chill. Pretty cool. And pretty much just a picture of this thing, this thing right here. And he was like, that's epic. That's freaking epic. I was like, want to see it? It's so glitchy. Lol. He's like, sure, lol. And I sent him my private server link. Please don't copy my private server link or I will cry. Actually, that private server link doesn't work anymore. Just letting you know beforehand. But yeah, guys, I showed him this and he was actually like madly surprised with how cool it is, okay? This thing is flipping awesome, okay? Guys, I'm actually going to be teaching you how to build yourself one of these now. Just flick it one more time, bro, for good measure. Oh, it's just so nice. It's just so nice. I could have actually made the whole thing a little bit bigger here, so that way it closes a little bit more. There's a big hole in the center here. Didn't notice. But yeah, guys, what we're gonna do to start this whole build off, okay, we're gonna quickly grab ourselves a big floor, okay? We're gonna just make ourselves a floor. Your house or wherever the heck it is you're gonna put this thing is gonna have a floor anyway, so it shouldn't be a big deal. But if you build on the ground, it's just a little bit wonky. You don't want to build on the buildable block. You know what I mean? Hello, Jesse from the future actually cutting in right here, guys. I actually made a mess up later in this tutorial that I don't want you to mess up as well. So, guys, when you build your floor, make sure that the floor is actually 2 blocks high, okay? 2 blocks like this. When you build your floor, guys, during the entire video, I actually made my floors 1 block high, and I kind of paid the price for it later. So make sure that your floor 2 blocks high. 2 blocks, okay? 2 blocks off the floor when you start building this thing. You need it later. Trust me. All right, back to the video. Guys, next up, we're gonna have to grab the block that we want to make the entire staircase out of. I recommend, okay, it kind of depends, guys. Let me explain. If you don't have the skill tool, use an already half block, for example, like this one right here. But if you do already have a half block, okay, or a skill tool, use whatever material you want. You can kind of build out of whatever it is that you kind of feel like. I'm actually gonna build this thing out of white marble. I'm feeling like white marble today. The next up, guys, we're gonna grab these these building settings right here. Actually, I'm gonna set merging level to red. Anchor block off, relative rotation on, move 1, rotate 15, and that's about it, guys. The next up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna place a block on the floor. Pretty much this is where we're gonna have the start of our staircase, okay? And then, guys, we're gonna just have rotate 15, of course, and we're just gonna start rotating, placing 1 block, rotating, placing 1 block. Very nice and easy. Nothing too special. And actually, we're gonna stop right here. So that way it's kind of like, at some point the staircase ends, okay? We have an entrance to our room and we also have an exit to our room. The next up, guys, we're gonna make sure that we have move set to 1, so that way we can place a half block, okay? We're gonna place a half block on top of every block right here that is already placed. And the reason we're doing this, guys, is because that way the blocks actually aren't touching. As you can see right here, there's a little bit of space in between every single block, which is kind of what we need. Then, guys, we're gonna have to make the actual staircase going around. You know what I mean? So I'm actually going to go half block right here. Am I an anchor block? I'm not an anchor block. Okay, good to know. Then we're going to actually go like this, guys. So we're going to make a half block up every single time. So as you can see, I'm placing some blocks just to make it go up half a block every single step of the way, because that's what we want. And of course, we're going to just do this all the way around, guys. And as you guys can see, I now have my spiral staircase done. And if you wanted to just make this a regular spiral staircase, you could of course just stretch these parts out like this, and you can build yourself a spiral staircase just very, very easily. I mean, as you can see right here, that is already starting to look like a spiral staircase. But that's not what we're going to do if we're going to turn this into a piston staircase. So guys, I'm actually going to set my scaling tool to a 2 because it makes everything a little bit easier. And we're going to scale everything out 3 blocks. So that way it's a total of 4 blocks long. Like only the top blocks, of course, okay? Make sure you only do it to the top blocks. Oh, that one fell for some reason. I don't know why. Why is that one trying to fall? Hello? And we're going to have to do this all the way till we reach the top, of course. There we go, guys. Very nice little staircase. But of course, we have all these ugly gaps. So we're going to have to actually do something about that. So guys, just to make building a little bit easier, guys, we're actually going to go anchor mode on, very specifically on, and we're going to actually place a block on top of every single one of these things right here. We're going to actually place a block on top of every one of them. So that way, every single one of these individual pieces is actually anchored now. Pretty much replacing an anchor block is what it is. There it is, guys. Every single block is now anchored. So we should be able to actually remove these stupid, ugly looking poles. And actually, since we have full blocks here as well, we have to scale those full blocks down to half blocks. So set your scale tool to 1. Make sure that these are half blocks because we don't want full blocks. Full blocks, bad. And now we just continue. Oh, I deleted the floor. Luckily, it's okay. Not a big deal. Just delete everything. And let me replace my floor. Oops. All right, guys. So next up, once we have this shape right here, guys, looking nice and snazzy, you know what I mean? What we are going to do is we're going to grab ourselves our pistons, okay? We're going to need at least 1, 2, 3. Hey, Siri, what is 19 times 3? We're going to need at least 57 pistons, or let's say 60 pistons, okay? Guys, what we're going to do first of all is we're going to have to actually, rotate 90, of course. We're going to have to place a piston on every single little thing right here. So like this, facing outwards, away from the block. Boom. There we go, guys. Very, very nice. Then next up, guys, what we want ourselves to do is we want ourselves to grab kind of like any block you want. There's no particular block this needs to be. Just kind of anything you kind of feel like. So I'm just going to use wood. So we're going to place a wooden block on top of every single piston like this. Boop, boop, boop. There we go, guys. Very, very nice. Then, guys, what we're going to do right here, and this is where things are going to get a little bit complicated. We're going to have to place a piston. Actually, turn off relative rotation because it's going to bite you in the butt right here. We're going to have to place 2 pistons underneath of every... Oh, wait. Why did that fall? Facing downwards, okay? Explicitly facing downwards. For some reason, pistons don't want to stick to some of these blocks. Have I done something wrong? Yes, I have. I am very, very dumb. Yeah, this... These wooden blocks were supposed to be anchored. Damn it, man. Replace these wooden blocks, guys, with anchored wooden blocks. Shouldn't take you more than 5 seconds, okay? I'm sorry, okay? I'm very sorry. Because I made a mess up earlier and I didn't make my floor 2 blocks high, I'm actually gonna have to delete one of the steps. Rest in peace, this step. You will be forgotten. I don't care. Okay, so my staircase is slightly crooked, which is fine. Everything else is gonna be exactly the same. Don't worry about it, guys. So, guys, what we're gonna do next up is we're actually gonna go in right here and we're gonna grab ourselves our pistons, okay? Make sure that you have anchor block off and relative rotation off will also help. We're gonna place pistons, okay? So piston... Why did that piston fall? This block is anchored. For some reason, with relative rotation off, these pistons are not sticking to each other. So, guys, make sure you have relative rotation on. I think that's a bit of a glitch, but it's not too big a deal, I'll work around it. So, guys, relative rotation on. It just makes it a little bit more wonky when placing these things. But, guys, we're gonna place 2 pistons on top of every single one of these things right here. All right, so, guys, now that I have a piston on every single one of these little things right here, I'm actually gonna delete my floor. I know this sounds counterintuitive. We just built the floor. Now we're deleting the floor. I know it sounds a little bit strange, but trust me, it's not. Okay, later we want to fill in just the floor just where it matters. I just built this floor as a bit of a guiding piece. So we're actually going to delete the floor, and then we're going to go right here and we're going to paint the first piston black. Oh, I painted the wood. I didn't mean to. I'm gonna have to replace that. Dang it, man. We're gonna paint the first piston on every single one of these. A little something like so. As you can see, every single piston is painted. Now we are gonna actually manually click every single one of those pistons. As you can see, I'm doing right here. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna do right. Just make sure that every single piston is extended. There we go. The next up, guys, we are actually gonna go. Okay, for the people that don't know, the way painting a piston works, depending on the level of grayness, it gives a different extension. So black is the least extension, and then there's 10 different stages of extension. So there's, this one. If I paint this one this color, as you can see, it will just about reach the ground. If I press this one, it's exactly the same level. So as you can see, this is where everything is gonna come down to the floor. So guys, what we're gonna actually do is we're gonna paint one color up on every single one of these. So as you can see, we're going to go one up every single time. Nice and easy. And you want to just, extend these things and make sure that they're actually ending up at the exact same level, because otherwise it will just not really matter. Because at some point, it will actually not matter if you change the color anymore. I think if I would paint these three, the last three or something don't work. Let me check. These last three should have the same extension. Yeah, as you can see, they're going up now. So guys, we're actually going to start, painting every single one of these pistons going forward. On the bottom here, white. As you can see right here, you're going to see a little bit of, change in height. Now, what we're going to do to combat this is we're going to go to the top piston, okay? And we're going to repaint that the second darkest gray. So if I paint this one this color, as you can see, it gets actually, wait, I got to paint this one this color, and then paint this one this color. And then we're going to exactly do the same thing as we did earlier. We're going to go one up every time on the top piston now. There we go, guys. As you can see, everything is now perfectly nice and even. Exactly how I wanted it. I'm very happy with it. Now, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like down here in anchor mode. I'm going to place one block on top of every single one of these blocks right here. And this is just to make sure that they are always anchored. This is just kind of like the anchor block, if that makes any sense. Guys, as you can see, there's a little nubs sticking out of the floor right here. I'm pretty sure for you guys, it should be more like this, which is a little bit more than a nub. It's not much more though than that. And then what we're going to do, guys, just to make sure that we have actually everything taken care of, we're going to, in relative rotation mode off, we're going to place a block underneath of that. And we're going to make a platform underneath of the floor, making sure that every single one of these things is connected, like so. There we go, guys. As you can see, it's touching every single one of these. Very nice. And then actually, underneath of the floor, we're going to actually place another block, okay? I know this is a lot of blocks. We're going to place another block, and we're going to actually drag this all the way into the wall. Because for some reason, we can't actually anchor things with the floor anymore. So we're actually going to have to make sure that this thing is touching the wall, like so. There it is. And now, guys, I think we're ready. I think we're ready to save this thing. As you can see, she's looking nice. Okay, and then what we're actually going to have to do, guys, we're going to have to ready up the water. So make sure that whatever it is that you don't want to fall is anchored, okay? You want everything to get unanchored now. So we're actually going to ready up the water. What did I mess up? What did I do wrong? Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Well, at least we saved, right? What I did wrong, guys. You might want to half block skill this one up a little bit, just so that way you are absolutely 100% sure that, so that way you're 100% sure that it's actually touching all of the blocks right there. I think that's where I went wrong. Skill it up half a block. Boop. Ready up the water. There it is. Okay, that's what I was expecting to see. Make sure you do that before you do whatever I just said. Also, make sure that you've saved, of course, because if you haven't, you're in for a nasty surprise, brother. All right, guys. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be able to delete all of these wood blocks that we placed earlier because we don't need them anymore. There we flippin' go. And then next up, guys, the final thing we are going to do, guys, if I press this piston right here, as you can see, it moves every single piece in place. Now you can actually change the different lengths of these pistons if you don't quite, find it perfect. So let's say, I find this that they get a little bit like that the staircase gets a little bit too small. Okay. Then what I would want to do is I want to paint this a different color. So let's say I think on the other one I painted these the dark one in the middle. Okay. So we're just gonna paint everything in that color. There we are, almost done. And now, guys, what we want to do is we want to manually activate every single one of these things. Perfect. That is looking actually really freaking nice. Oh my god. We should look at my staircase. Forgot to activate something. There it is. That looks like a perfect staircase to me, if I've ever seen one, other than the fact that I slightly messed up. But we don't talk about those. As you can see, this is perfect. Next up, guys, just to finish this off, and we want to actually save this thing, of course, we're gonna grab a lever down here. We're gonna place it down here. We're gonna activate it. Why did not everything activate? Why did it do that? It's not supposed to do that. I think that was a little bit of a glitch right there. So I'm actually gonna do the same thing again. Make sure that everything is extended before I press that. What? That was weird. And press it. There it is, guys. Everything should smoothly go down like this. This is what I was expecting to see. And now, guys, you can save this, load it back in, and if everything went exactly according to plan, when you press this lever, this one just glitched out all of a sudden. All right. We have a glitcher. It's all right. I don't care. Load him in again. If anything happens, just load it in again, boys. It seems like this one is glitched out. So, as far as I know, you can actually fix that by hitting it with a harpoon and then pulling on it. Yeah, that fixed it. That's nice. That's nice. So if anything's broken, guys, make sure you just pull on it with a harpoon and then save it again. Okay. Save. Yes. Activate that lever. And what you should see is absolute satisfaction right there. That is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I freaking love it, man. That is nice. Pull it back out. And there you go. And as I said, guys, earlier, of course, you can place walls from here. You can, add in a little bit of your own floor if you'd want to. Just make sure that you don't actually anchor any of these blocks. So the way I would personally recommend doing this is by actually grabbing yourself a block like this, turning on relative rotation. As you can see see right there. I have it set to anchor block right now. I know I have it like that, and I recommend that. Then, guys, you're gonna set your scale tool thing to 0.2. We're gonna nudge it down exactly 1 block, and pretty much you're gonna do that to every single one of them. And then we're gonna just make sure that nothing is touching, and we're gonna just build a circle around here, and we can just fill it in. You know, you kind of get the idea. Pretty much, it's just gonna be a layer of marble laying on top of the wood, very nice and subtle. I'm not gonna do that right now because I'm pretty sure you guys will understand how to do that yourself. But guys, with that, we have an absolutely satisfying staircase. Something I'm actually honestly kind of in love with. This thing is super nice. It runs smooth. It just disappears into the floor. It's just an absolute beaut, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more awesome tutorials like this. I'll see you on the next one, though, boys. Peace out, everyone.
Bye, dude. Bye.